Well, this is me again. So this is the day, I think it's 11th out of 30. Um, yeah, it's been quite difficult. I was, in a trip, vacation trip, holiday trip, um, for the last 6 days. So I've been doing my best, but I'm just gonna start reading now. So this is my first day back from vacation. And I think I'm gonna hit some pretty nice consistency here. Because if I was able to do that well, being away from home, where I have all the things and all it's so easy for me because I have my desk, I have my um microphone, everything that I need in order to get this, going. I was able to do that, without having that, you know, comfort. I think that being back here home, is gonna be um easier to keep myself consistent with this, let's call it a project. Um, so I'm just gonna start reading now. So I'm just pretty happy that I was able to do that during that time that wasn't that easy. And now that I'm back home with all you know, the devices and all the tools needed to do this, I guess I'm gonna be able to, stick to it and keep going. So 16, time travel. Question: in the future, when you are already living a passionate life, what advice would you give to the present you? This question is like candy to me. It just shows you that there are no limitations to our imagination. So imagine that you once again step into a time machine, and on the other side, you meet the future you who's already living a passionate life. This might seem confusing at first, but stick with it. Still be worth it. Now ask the future you to tell you what you need to hear right now. What are the next steps you need to take? Don't worry if you believe you can't visualize. We all visualize in different ways. Let me demonstrate. Right now, think about a pink elephant. Whether whether whatever way whatever way that pink elephant shows up inside your head is fine. For some, it'll be a technicolor, others will feel it, and yet others will hear it. Do it, do it in the way that comes natural to you. If you can daydream, you can do this exercise. And if all else fails, you can do it through writing. Possible roadblocks. This question requires you to stretch your mind. Be very cognizant Be very cognizant of any thoughts that try to stop you. Maybe you believe that you cannot visualize. Maybe you think that this question doesn't make sense. If you truly don't want to do this, then don't. But if you can pretend that you can do it anyway, this question alone will be worth the price of this book. You see, there is already a version of you living the life you want. You can tap into that wisdom, and bring you can bring it back to the here and now. Time to write. Look at this question as if you were going on an adventure. Imagine yourself traveling to the future and meeting the future you, who is already doing what you want to do. Then ask yourself, what helpful advice could this future version of me tell me right now? And if you need extra help, here are a few prompts. What I really need to hear from my future self is the next step. The next step the future version of me would advise me to take would be the one thing the future me has realized that I yet haven't is don't just love the don't you just love the power of your imagination? If you want, you can have a conversation. If you want, you can have a conversation with that future version of you. Version of you. Just start writing down questions and answers on a piece of paper and see where it leads. It might feel like you are making this all up, but so what? As long as as long as it helps, use it at your advantage. 17. Boiling blood. Question. What makes you what makes your blood boil? When I see people limit themselves, I get angry. I see the potential in people, but they don't do anything about it. They set they settle for mediocrity, mediocrity. Mhm. They settle for mediocrity and they believe they can't do better. Maybe they've picked up a few ideas when they grew up, and now these ideas are holding them back. Now I'm not perfect. I get stuck just like anyone else, but I'm constantly trying to move forward. I'm not talking about forceful improvement, but simply following my heart. We all have an inner GPS. If you neglect it, you start feeling lost, unfulfilled, and depressed. So what makes you hard whip? What would like what would you like to change in the world? There are a lot of problems to choose from, but there is always one or two that you truly yearn to change. Where most people get stuck is wanting to create massive change right away. And things don't work that way. Change begins with one step and one person. It's just like building a house. It begins with laying one brick at a time. Don't expect things to be amazing all at once. Instead, start where you are able to start. You don't have to think big and amazing right away. Possible roadblocks. Exploring what makes you angry should be easy. Most people get on a roll when they get to focus on the negative. What you want to avoid is getting stuck in that negativity. The way you do that is to look at the other side of the coin. For example, I don't like seeing people hold themselves back. What's the other side of that? It's asking questions like, how can I change that? What am I able to do? Where can I start? What would I like to see instead? Time to write. You probably want to change a lot of things. Start by writing them all down. Then dive deeper into the topics that your heart burns for. To get started, start with the main question. What makes my blood boil? Then use the prompts below. What makes my heart weep is I wish I could change. If I think if I think in small steps, I could start by a lot of people tell you to think big. That's great. But in order to get going, you have to think small. When you go and buy groceries, you get you get the one step at a time. The same true for the same is true for contributing to the world and following your heart. One step is all it takes. 18. Flow. Question. When was the last time you were in a state of what when was the last time you were in a state of flow? It's easy to forget that you are tapping into your passion all the time. You might not be doing you might not be doing it as often as you'd like, but it helps to realize that you are doing it. You just have to increase the time you spend there. You do this by looking at when you are in a state of flow, when you feel excited, energized, and passionate. The easy way out, the easy way out on this answer is to explore them superficially. Superficially, I argued you, I argued you to go deeper. Keep getting more details and go places you haven't gone before. I know I've been repeating this over and over. That's because it's essential that you put in the work, that you put in the work. For example, I'm in a state of flow right now as I'm writing this, but you might think, well, that's easy for you to say because you've already found your passion. But please keep in mind that I didn't always know this. Looking back, I see that I see I see that I was in a flow when I was writing, creating, and helping people. It, re- I refuse to see it. I don't know why. Eventually, I draw drawn eventually it dawned on me, but it happened little by little. It took me years to uncover what I was good at and what I was passionate about. So let so let it be okay. Let it take the time it takes. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to force progress. We all want to move forward faster. But what but what if you what if you stop trying so hard? What if you simply focused on increasing the time you spend in a state of effortless flow by 1%? Possible roadblocks. You might think that you are never in a state of flow, but you are. There is always a corner of your life where you are already tapping into your passions. You just have to find it. The thing you come, the things you come up, the things you come up with might feel inconsequential, but but don't judge when you explore these questions. Focus on writing down whenever comes to your mind. Also remember to dive into the details. Keep asking why you are in a state of flow when you do a certain thing. What is about that thing you like? If you stop procrastinating or avoiding this question, you know you are on the right track. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. You've been trying you've been trying it the easy way. It doesn't work. When you're willing to face the discomfort, everything changes. Time to write. I want I want to once again remind you that there is no right or wrong way to answer these questions. All you have to concern yourself with is doing the work. As long as you're answering these questions, you are doing fine. So it's time start by answering the main question. When was the last time I was in the state of flow? And then dive into these prompts. The last time I felt energized and free was the reason I'm in a state of flow when I do that is if I pretend to know the one thing I can do to increase the flow in my life is see how I slipped I slipped in the pretend to know question. Sneaky, huh? It works and it works well. Go into kid mode, into kid mode and let yourself daydream. Let go of your personal feelings around the matter. Let go of the wanting to get things right. Look at this as if you were writing a story, someone else's story. Well, thank you. This is this is the last part of this section. Yeah, I just want to thanks anyone that's been, you know, paying attention to this activity. I'm not doing this to, you know, for people to actually listen to me. I'm doing this to, to keep myself accountable during this time. And because I know this will hugely help my confidence. That's the first thing that I want to improve and I want to have an impact on, but also my speaking voice, my fluency, my motor skills, you know, my English production um tool, which is my mouth, the muscle of my face, and also, the way I breathe when I'm speaking, so I don't, get short of breath when I'm trying to deliver a message. Like now that I'm getting short of breath, but that's improving somehow. So, and I'm just gonna keep doing this, not wanting to, get a lot of people to actually see or listen to me, but more like a personal diary of this activity this activity that I'm doing in order to get better at something in my life. Thank you.